What is up? Omi! How are you today? I've moved! Moody. I've moved into my son's moody studio. It is a little darker, but the spirit is bright and light. You know what? I am a little chilly. Yeah. I got some slippers for Christmas though, and they really help. Do you have heat? Your heat is on, isn't it, Omi? I hope. Just brings me so much joy to be here with you all. Very grunge. You like? Yeah, it is a little grunge. Robin Everly! What is up, my brother? What is up? What is up? Ooh, look at my new lower third. It like has shiny things. What's the picture of? Oh, that's a picture of Omi's icon. Brenda, I love you. I love you. All right. Omi's being able to keep up on the rent and utilities. Marcia, yes, Marcia says it was a dark week, so a dark studio is apropos. Animal Crossing. Interesting. You know, Omi says Animal Crossing is her escape. That's a fun little game. That is a fun little game. Well, for all of you that wished everybody a happy new year, how's that working out for you? We couldn't make it a full week. We couldn't make it 7 days before we have to tear down our entire government. What is going on? Ooh, Omi's birthday is tomorrow. Well, happy birthday, Omi. Omi rightfully said 2021 has been a wild year. Here. Hey, Aaron! Here, look, I'm going to try and publish a poll. Did I do it? I don't know. I try. I did. Okay, good. I want to know how you're feeling. Are you feeling okay? I don't want to pretend to understand how, the first 7 years of 2021 have have affected you. I want to know. Are you okay? Are you doing all right? Omi is saying that if you are... Wait, Robin Everly. Oh, wait. Robin Everly is having surgery tomorrow. My goodness. What kind of surgery are you having, my friend? Our thoughts and prayers, obviously. I hate saying that, my thoughts and prayers. It's such a cheap way out, but really I don't know what else to do for you. I can't do the surgery. Spinal stenosis. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. All right. Fingers crossed and yes, Aaron says fingers crossed and prayers. Yes. I do believe in the power of positive thinking. I do believe in it. I think they've even done studies about it. So positive thoughts, and what's the harm in positive thoughts? They're not realistic, Sage. Positive thoughts aren't realistic. You need to be realistic, man. Be truthful, man. I mean, come on. Wishing somebody a healthy journey through the world of surgery for their spinal stenosis is good, you know? And wishing anybody a positive journey through their surgery of existence. Yes. And Omi says, best wishes and a speedy recovery. Yes. I don't think I saw that coming. I don't think I saw it coming. The guy with the horns taking over the Capitol. Just didn't see it. Wait a second. Wait, why? Published graphic, man. There we go. Omi says, me and my cousin, similar lifestyle. I'm positive to the point it's sickening to others. She's a negative Nancy. I have fared better in life. Not a coincidence. I would say that's right? So like, okay, so, and Omi goes on to say it's similar upbringing. So there have been studies that say that optimism versus pessimism is a hold on, let me see which way is, so my chin isn't, nope, easy, Sagey, there, stop, good, Sagey. Let's look this up. Is optimism a learned trait? Let's see. So it says here, learned optimism involves developing the ability to view the world from a positive point of view. It is often contrasted with learned helplessness. Oh, yeah. So there you go. The opposite. By challenging negative self-talk and replacing pessimistic thoughts with more positive ones, people can learn how to become more optimistic. The benefits of optimism. Here we go. This is good, I guess, right? There are a number of benefits to becoming a more optimistic person. Some of the many advantages of optimism that researchers have discovered include better health outcomes. A meta-analysis of 83 studies found that optimism played a significant role in health outcomes for cardiovascular disease, cancer, pain, physical symptoms, and mortality. Better mental health. Optimists report higher levels of well-being than pessimists. Research also suggests that teaching learned optimism techniques can significantly reduce depression. Higher motivation. Becoming more optimistic can also help you maintain motivation when pursuing goals. When trying to lose weight, for example, pessimists might give up because they believe diets never work. Optimists, on the other hand, are more likely to focus on positive changes that can make the will to help them reach their life goals. Longer lifespan. Studies have shown that optimistic people tend to live longer. Lower stress levels. Optimists not only experience less stress, but they also cope with it better. They tend to be more resilient and recover from setbacks more quickly. One study, children with risk factors for depression were placed on a training program where they taught skills related to learn optimism. The study revealed that children with risk factors were much more likely to show symptoms of moderate to severe depression at a 2-year follow-up. However, those who had received training to learn optimism and anti-depression skills were half as likely to develop them. So, there you go. Except, I gotta say, ask a pessimist if the optimists in their life are making their lives better. I think most would agree that they drive them batty. So here's on NPR. Optimism is a personality trait, or could people possibly learn it? Research shows that optimism is correlated with various good outcomes. Higher life expectancy, better recovery rate, success at work. But optimism, is it a personality trait or is it learned? Wow, there's a lot of words on this. So to be strong, so I don't know. I just wanted the answer. I don't need a transcript. I just wanted the answer. Can it be learned? Psychology today, optimism, it turns out, isn't just defined as the tendency to expect things to turn out better, nor is pessimism defined as a tendency to expect things to turn out more poorly. Both terms used to describe what we think about cause of adversity, pessimism in particular being defined as the tendency to think about them in a way that makes us feel powerless. A pessimistic self-explanatory style then describes the tendency to attribute the causes of adversity to forces that are internal. This is all my fault. Universal. This affects absolutely everything and immutable. This isn't changeable. Not surprisingly, numerous studies have shown that possessing such a pessimistic self-explanatory style places us in an extreme disadvantage, preventing us from responding to adversity in ways that makes it easier to surmount, telling ourselves, for example, that we failed a test. On the other hand, if we tell ourselves we failed a test because we didn't study enough, meaning we didn't make enough effort, we're more likely to redouble our efforts. People with a pessimistic self-explanatory style, increased risk for developing post-traumatic stress and depression when adversity strikes. Let's see. I just want to know, can you learn to be optimistic? I heard you can't. Anyways, I don't know. I guess it doesn't hurt to try, right? Omi says, both my brothers are pessimistic. So, and Omi says, my cousin hates me. See, optimism, not everybody loves it. Wait. You have so much good to say here. Okay. Omi says, watch videos of her falling down doors. She gets back up and keeps going. She doesn't stop and say, wait, I screwed up. Let's start over. I'm obsessed with Beyonce. Okay. Beyonce is great. Isn't Beyonce? I agree. Thomas, good morning to you, my sir. How are you today? Oh, I see. Beyonce. Okay. I understand. This is talking about Beyonce. So Beyonce, says Omi, watch videos of her falling down during concerts. She gets back up and keeps going. She doesn't stop and say, wait, I screwed up. Let's start over. I'm obsessed with Beyonce. And then Brenda says, that's a girl. Make that lemonade, honey. It's good for you. Prayers to us. And then we go back to Omi saying her cousin hates her. I can't sit and have a bitch fest with me. And her brothers are pessimistic. And idols matter. And there it is. Kelly brings it up. Idols matter. Okay, so let me tell you, I am a optimistic person, but I will say this: I know for a fact that I have not learned optimism. I can't not be optimistic. Okay, now, Omi did a paper about idols in college. That's interesting. You should, if you could find it, that probably would be interesting. I do find that if I find things from college, I'm impressed with how smart I was back then. I'm like, wow, that kid knew what's up. that kid understood some stuff. So let me tell you what happens. I'm at the point now where I do get depressed. Okay. Obviously I get depressed and I want to give up. Okay, that is, I don't think any different than anybody else. Okay, I want to quit probably just as much as anybody could want to quit when something goes wrong. Omi says, kids need idols. Yes, kids need idols. Boy, I couldn't agree more. But I'm 49 years old and I have learned that all I have to do is just sit there for a minute. And I would say within an hour or two, I have turned the whole thing around in my head, no matter how bad it's gotten. No matter how bad things have gotten, my brain turns it around into a positive and a you can do it attitude. I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is sit and wait. So look at this. Omi says, I'm depressed as fuck and have PTSD from childhood sexual abuse from age 3 to 17. Wow, that's heavy. But Omi then goes on to say, I'm still positive. Bam. Okay. Now, I would be inclined to think that Omi is a naturally positive person. That Omi will not be stopped. And it is an admirable, impressive, powerful attitude. But I wouldn't be at all surprised to understand that Omi is just a natural born optimist. Because that's how it feels in my life, and I couldn't find it on the internet because I didn't know we were going to be talking about optimism and pessimism, but I always love how you guys take these conversations in such interesting ways. I don't do a single thing for my optimism. I don't have to work it. I don't have to try to be it. I just am. And it is annoying for countless people around me. I can't tell you how many times I have heard in my life, I'm so tired of you being right all the time about stuff like this. And it's in a joking way, but it's true that I would say life favors optimism. There's a saying, life favors the bold. I don't believe that life could exist if optimism was as likely as pessimistic ideas, you know? That if the chance of living and survival was 50-50 all the time, could you imagine if every day you woke up and you had a 50-50 chance of dying? What that would do to your psyche? Eventually, when you're 114 years old and it's another day, you're like, today could be the day, Grandma. I'm like, yeah, I know. But it might not be the day. Probably an optimist, Like, Grandma, today you have a 75% chance of dying. You're the oldest person to ever live. And in fact, Grandma, if you're the oldest person to ever live, I would say statistically you have a 100% chance of dying today, right? Because no one else has ever lived as long as you. Okay? You have a 100% chance of dying when you're the oldest person alive. But I bet that's not how you feel. You're probably like, whatever. Maybe not. What's on Sally Jesse Raphael? Grandma, Sally Jesse Raphael hasn't been on in 20 years. Oh, really? Oh. Well, what's on? We got YouTube today. Okay, turn on YouTube. Who's hosting that? Carol Dobbins, good morning to you. I don't know if it's being optimistic, but I refuse to believe there's nothing I can do to make change. If that's optimism, yeah, then you are. I refuse to believe there's nothing I can do. So Aaron says, I have that 50-50 chance every day. I don't think statistically we all have a 50-50 chance of dying, do we? Not every day. I would say my chance of dying, if I was going to bet, okay, if I went to Las Vegas and I said, I want to take a bet on the fact that I will be dead by the end of the day and I will not kill myself. If I kill myself, the bet is off, okay? I bet they would say, you want to pay me the bet that you'll die, and if you kill yourself, the bet's off. Yeah, just not, I'm just walking around doing nothing ordinary. I mean, I'm in Las Vegas, so I'm going to do what people do in Las Vegas. I'm going to go eat some things. I'm going to go to Caesar's Palace, blah, blah, blah. But, nothing crazy. I'm not going to do any drugs. I'm just going to live my life. Yeah, all right, fine. Let's take that bet. Anybody would take that bet, okay? They're like, you don't have cancer, do you? I need to see your health statistics. No, I'm totally healthy. How old are you? 49. Good. All right. Do you have a history of heart disease? No, don't have that. All right. Do you have a history of cancer? Nope, don't. Yeah, for sure. Who wouldn't take that bet? You know who takes that bet all the time? Life insurance people. Life insurance people are betting you live. When you buy it, you're betting you die. Okay? They take it all day long. Omi says, but you defied the odds this far, so I feel like you have a 90. See, here you go. Omi can't even turn it off. Omi's like, no way. You have nearly 100% chance you'll live through today, Grandma. And then Omi's going to be that 114-year-old person and be like, yeah, you're probably right. That's right. Yeah. So, and in fact, have you ever heard, they've done studies of these super old people, right? And they're like, they totally accept that their kids are dead and their friends are dead. And they don't, they're just like, it's the way of the world. It's the way of the world. They're totally accepting of it, And so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you, okay. All right. Show the results. Here, I want to show the results. All right. Did you see, you guys, most of you feel great. No one feels terrible. That's great. Okay. Hold on, graphics. I need to unpublish this. So I don't know if you guys are seeing the, here, I'll show it to you if you haven't seen it. Where is it? Results active. I want to see them. Oh, here. Okay, look. It says here, 6 people filled out the survey. 5 of them are feeling great. 1 is feeling not good. Nobody's feeling terrible and nobody's feeling okay. So there you go. We have just experienced what I believe is, well, look, nobody's overtaken Capitol Hill since the British burned it down in the 1800s, okay? It's a big deal. But look at us. We're like, you know what? Everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Omi says, you can't change shit. It's easier to accept and then work with that than to actively use your energy to avoid accepting the pain. Yes, very nice. Very nicely thought. Brenda says, I went through that too, Omi, but sometimes it's very hard. At least you made it to college. I couldn't make it out of high school. My brain went south because that kind of, wow, Brenda, I'm so sorry. So, right? So then, now I don't know if Brenda's an optimistic person or a pessimistic person. Doesn't matter. But I do know that a lot of times if a person like Omi's like, hey, I did it, you can do it. And a lot of times people hate that, right? If I can do it, you can do it. I can't tell you how many homeless people have yelled, or drug addicts. Okay, I've known so many homeless people, drug addicts, that quit drugs and got into a house. And you know what they all say? If I can do it, you can do it. I'm like, dude, you spent every dime of your disability for years on drugs and gambling and lived in a tent. Yeah, well, those were dark times, man. But, I got it together. I was homeless. I wasn't helpless. I wasn't homeless. I'm like, you did it for 2 years, buddy. just joking with him. Of course, I'm super proud of him that he got his act together, if that's what you want to call it. I don't mean, like, that's an acceptable way of life. I feel like we're all leading pretty pointless lives, right? But, I mean, who cares if you want to live in a tent and spend all your money on gambling and drugs? Who am I to say that that's terrible? Who am I to say? Do whatever you want. But, it's like it was something he wanted to do. He wanted to quit living in a tent. He got tired of living in the cold outside with no heat. And so he got an apartment. Very good. I'm very good. So, but then I'm telling you, I hear it all the time. And like he literally is that guy. He's literally the guy that says, if I can do it, you can do it. Whoops. Wait. Publish. Okay. Oh, wait, that's not the one I wanted. Omi said, I tried college 3 times and I'm a flunky. You did what you had to survive, baby. Don't be too hard on yourself. You survived. And isn't that right? Right? Oh, you tapped okay, Aaron? I don't know. Somebody stole your vote. Seems to be the way of America. I stole your vote, Aaron. I stole it. If you can't laugh about vote stealing, what can you laugh about? Is it too early? Is it too early? I don't know, honey, what happened to your okay vote. Let it be known that Aaron tapped okay. I don't know what happened to it. Omi says, I'm not an I did it, you can do it person. Bill Gates made $1 million, and I don't believe I can do that. He didn't make $1 million, he made $1 billion. I think many billions. I think we can all do our best, and that looks different from person to person. Right. Okay. So, see, Omi is so wise. Omi is so wise. So here you go. Okay. So look. So here he is. I wasn't talking about you, Robin, but Robin is one of these guys, and I'm not in any way belittling anything Robin has done. Omi says, Robin is a wild success story. Okay? Robin, and I love Robin's story because as you backtrack through Robin's life, you can get to the point where you're like, wow, I'd probably been using drugs and homeless too if I had lived through what Robin lived through. And that is the truth of all homeless people. I have never heard the story of a homeless person that came out where, and why are you homeless? No. If I can hear from childhood to where they are today, I'm like, oh yeah, right. Yeah, I get it, bro. Everybody, every human ends up where they are for good reasons. Okay? Now, what oftentimes happens is we just see the end result. And then we see a guy in moose horns, or whatever kind of horns those were, walking crazily through Capitol Hill, and you're like, what is happening? But I'm telling you, that guy can tell you a logical story of how he got to that point in his life. Okay? We must seek to understand. If there is only one thing I pass on, I think maybe I better put that on I gotta write that down. All right, anyways. No, just look. If there's one thing I beg of you, it is to seek to understand. Don't judge. You don't understand their position. You can't possibly judge them. You can't say. Now, you can obviously find actions unacceptable. My favorite one, because people always flinch at it is pedophiles. People hate pedophiles, and rightfully so. Pedophilia is the act of, I think, having sexual contact with somebody under puberty, right? There could not be anything more clearly wrong. It's biologically wrong. It's abhorrent. It is everything cruel and sadistic. You are taking something of pure of spirit and trying to ruin it. Okay? We just heard up here 2 women on this board have already come to have disclosed that they have been subject to abuse, physical abuse, at a very, very early age, right? There could not be anything more brutal and confusing. If you believe that God, which I don't, is like controlling every action, I'm like, why did God allow Omi to be abused at age 3? Why did God allow that? And if you tell me, if you utter the words, we can't understand the will of God, I'm going to punch you right in the face. Because if God thinks that Omi needs to be abused at age 3 so that she can carry on her life, I don't want it. I don't want it. But I am here to tell you, pedophiles end up being pedophiles for usually almost always very clear reasons. My best friend from elementary school is spending life in prison, as well he should, for pedophilia. And guess what? He was abused as a kid. Pretty much. I would hope that sometimes you would be able to at least say, oh, okay. I mean, I can just drop that one sentence, right? And you should be able to say, oh, okay. And then that's just one sentence. There's the whole rest of his life where he ends up abusing kids. Okay? As a camp counselor, no less. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. But it doesn't make me hate him. I understand him. I would hope that if I had been him... Okay, I told my mom when I was alive that he was spending life in prison for pedophilia, and she's like, wow, that's insanity. You know, she was very shocked. And they're like, how did that even happen? And I'm like, well, it turns out he was abused as a kid himself. And the first thing, because this kid was over at my house all the time during this age, the first thing my mom said was, how did I not see that? And I was the same way. I was like, yeah, how did I not know this was going on? I literally spent every day with this kid. How did I not know he was being abused? We must understand. Now, of course, he should spend, and in fact, I don't believe he is in any way rehabilitated. He wants out of prison. My vote is, you just chill in prison, buddy. You just chill over there. It's good. They got no kids over there. You just do you over there, okay? Yeah, prison sucks, but I really, truly believe my best friend from elementary school should stay in prison. But I don't hate him. Okay. Look at Omi saying the most magnanimous things. Sometimes pedophilia is the result of wires getting crossed. Once you remove your feelings on it because it's wrong, you can think of it from their perspective and imagine some abuse in your formative years crossing that wire and that being your desire. Sounds awful to me. Look at that. Look at that. Omi, who had just earlier admitted to her being abused at a young age, says it sounds awful to me having to be a pedophile. Omi goes on to say, no one thought I was abused. I was quiet and shy in nature. Me spending all my time in books to them was good. So they didn't question it. I wasn't a troubled kid, never in trouble, good student with great grades. No one knew. And then, can't be mad at them. How is it that the victims of abuse can become the most enlightened, while we on the outside are enraged and judgmental of her abusers? And Omi says, can't be mad at the people that didn't see it. Then before says pedophiles' wires get crossed. It's powerful. How can we learn to be more like Omi? How can we learn to stop judging? Robin says, I didn't get where I'm at by myself. Joyce believed in me and we did it together, and you, Sage, walked by my side and told I was worth more than living in a tent, and you let me do it myself. That's so chillingly beautiful, Robin. I love you, brother. But we all know, not all, but you had a rough road. And sometimes your rough road ends up in a tent, or it doesn't end up, but it finds you momentarily in a tent doing drugs, lost and confused and depressed. And then Robin goes on to say, I didn't get where I'm at by myself. Okay? Do you see the wisdom in this statement? If I had judged Robin as a drug-addicted homeless loser, who would I have helped other than my own self-righteousness? Well, Robin's a loser, I know that. Jeez, man, he should get his act together. He should stop doing drugs and get a job. He did not get where he was by himself. None of us do. Thank you for the tip, Aaron. I'm going to scroll up and ask you a question. Marcia, thank you. I missed it. Let's go see here. Oh, I'm going to close the results. Okay. Oh, look, I can show the results in the video. Look. Poor Aaron's vote has been stolen. Wait, Marcia asked a question and I missed it? I don't know. Aaron, I believe you that Marcia asked a question, but I missed it. Did I? No, I don't see it. I don't see it. Sorry. I'm sorry. Ah, yes. See? Homie points out the brutal fact that pessimists do not want to hear, that my optimism is showing. Of course I'm going to look the bright side of murderers and thieves and pedophiles and rapists and serial killers and drug addicts and drug dealers and homeless people. It is probably, what Omi is saying is probably very true. I am compassionate because I see the bright side of everything. How can I not be compassionate? Is that what a spiritual leader is just some sort of extremist optimist? Beth comes in with some profound wisdom. Beth Sickler states, absolutely, positively true. Addiction is a disease, plain and simple. Now, this is the message that we must get to the general public. Addiction is not a choice. I only have one soulmate in this world. And it's not my wife. It is booze, baby. Booze. Boose. Booze. I haven't drank for about 17 years, and I'm not about to start now. However, I dreamed about it just last night. And in my dreams, I'm like, look, Sage. I'm drinking like it is now. Like it has been 17 years, and I'm like, look, man, you're not doing anything tomorrow. You're not going to hurt anybody. You want to drink, just drink, man. Just do it. Literally, I had that dream last night. And the night before, I had a dream about drinking with my best friend from college, who I drank with constantly. And we had wonderful times. One time, I'm going to tell you a story. We had a 2.5 day binge. I'm talking 24, about 36 hours. Let's just call it 36 hours, okay? We got a carton of cigarettes, okay? If you don't know what a carton of cigarettes is, it's 20 cigarettes in a pack, 10 packs in a carton, 200 cigarettes, okay? We took them out of the packs and put them in a bowl, and they were so beautiful. A bowl of 200 smoky treats. And within 36 hours, we smoked every single one of them and then had to go buy more. I think I can still feel that night in my lungs. Woo! We had a wonderful time. A wonderful time. We gave away money because we had money at the time. We gave it away to people, and not to people that needed it. Just like people that were standing in front of us. Here, you want $50? They're like, what? They're like, yeah, you want $50? Yeah, sure. Here you go. Gave away all our money. Just drank. I can't possibly imagine how much we drank. Can't possibly imagine. Marcia doesn't remember what she typed. Okay. My brain is an addictive brain, okay? It is wired for addiction. I am an addictive personality. I'm obsessive. I'm compulsive. Everyone that is close to me will attest to the truth to that. I get an idea and I burn as bright as I can, and not in a good way, to accomplish that idea, of which in 2 days I might think was the stupidest idea ever. That is me. There's positives and minuses to being an addictive person. My brain is an addictive brain, okay? I think that some people are more inclined to being addicted than others, and that makes it seem challenging to especially a pessimistic person that does not have addictive tendencies, okay? And Beth, if I'm saying anything wrong here, please step in and say, no, Sage, that's not scientifically correct. I'm not an expert in addiction. I'm just telling you my experiences with a little bit of anecdotal studies that I've read. So when a person who does not have an addictive brain, it's not a personality. I don't want you to think that it's something you can change, okay? When they have an addictive brain, when a person who does not have an addictive brain sees an addict, they see somebody they can't understand. They see someone who should just stop drinking, should just stop doing drugs. And it's very possible that if that person started doing drugs, they wouldn't like it, wouldn't do it at all. I have a friend, a young friend who has, had 1 or 2 outings of drinking, doesn't really enjoy it. I'm like, how can you not enjoy it? She's like, I lose control. I'm like, yeah, tell me more. Yeah. Yes, you lose control. I love it. I love it. Just saying the words. So wonderful. Omi says, all this has been in the works for centuries and has reached the level it is today by us as a society denying that things existed and allowed them to continuously be perpetuated on innocent people over and over again to be manifested into the legacy of families. That is a beautiful, powerful sentence, Omi. Wow. I'm going to read it again. All of this has been in the works for centuries, hundreds of years, and has reached the level it is today by us as a society denying these things existed and allowed them to continually be perpetuated on innocent people over and over again to be manifested into the legacy of families. Hopefully you have seen the African Americans of America point out that if they had been at the Capitol, things would have been different. And you can't say, no, that's not true. That's not true. You know damn well it's true. Because you saw the guards of the Washington Monument when the Black Lives Matter people came. Full military regalia. And then you saw the white people just basically get the door open to them to walk right in and do whatever they wanted to do to Capitol Hill, where all the most powerful people in our country resided, except the president, conveniently. And obviously, if you're paying attention, he's like, I'm not coming to the inauguration. Sounds like a dog whistle to me. Don't worry, guys. You want to tear it up over there? Go right ahead. I'll be watching on TV, giving you the thumbs up, because that's how I like to lead, from a TV. So, thank you for mentioning that, Aaron. I'm going to come back to that. That's good. I believe that we have a holy war and have had a holy war in the United States against black people since they forced to step foot on our soil of North America. Now is the United States of America. I believe it all comes down to black people. Now, I'm not saying we don't have class warfare now, but that's not what January 6th was about. It wasn't about class. They were happy to have poor people there and wealthy people. The guy with the lectern or whatever he was walking around with, his wife's a doctor. They felt very comfortable hanging out with people of different classes, primarily as long as they were white. Primarily as long as they were white. And I'm here to tell you, this has not gone away in 400 years. And I don't think of course there are, but I would say the vast majority of African Americans in America would agree with that statement, that there is a war on black people in America. And there always has been. Do you know I read a study that said childbirth, the death of infant mortality plummets in the black community when there is a black doctor. When the OBGYN is black, turns out not as many black babies die. Weird. I don't know. Probably Just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. Black people are abused and oppressed and murdered at significantly higher rates than their percentage in society. I can't think of a area where, unless of course you're a rapper or a athlete, if you can be a rapper or an athlete, you get a free pass because we want to watch you jump around. So embarrassing. I can't think of an area where black people are not being murdered and oppressed and at a higher rate than they represent in America. They are obviously incarcerated more, higher infant mortality, worse cases, they die earlier, just everything. There's just nothing you can look at. You're like, well, that part makes it good. They're good at that. They got that going for them. No, they don't. And it's not because they're inferior. It's because they're oppressed. That's the meaning of oppression. We hate them. And maybe you and I don't hate them. But are we doing enough to stand up for them? I don't know. I don't know. Thank you. Okay. Beth says, great, Sage. I was talking about addiction. Disgusting on the cigarettes. Whatever. That was awesome that night. It's like one of the nights that will live in my personal infamy. I love that night so much. Omi says, white lives really do matter. Let's move on to the next shade. Okay, we got it. White lives matter, everybody. I love it. Beth, I do want to come back to Marsha's point about the Colorado governor or mayor or whatever. That's really cool. But I do want to talk a little bit more about addiction. People who do not have an addicted brain that say something such as, why don't you just stop? They do not or do not want, mostly that, to educate themselves on what addiction is all about and should keep their thoughts to themselves. The fact that we send people to jail for addiction speaks perfectly well about our ignorance on addiction. We might as well lock people up for getting cancer. Or how about heart disease? I mean, why not? Look, if you got heart disease, when you show up, all right, if you show up with a heart attack, you're overweight, you have high cholesterol, your diet consists of endless fast food and soda pop, you should go to jail too. Don't you think? Don't you think? There's no difference. There's no difference. It's absurd. I spend so much time with drug addicts, I have to remind myself that if I were to have drugs on me, I see drugs constantly. Constantly. Okay? I am straight edge. I do not do drugs. Okay? I'll be as completely honest about my drug history as I can. Obviously, love the booze. Mostly beer. I like to do about a case a night. 24 beers. Loved it. Just so happens, mine happens to be legal. So stupid. I have tried marijuana on several times. I would say a dozen times. I don't know. Not a lot, because I don't enjoy it. I'm paranoid. I can't hold a conversation. And then I'm paranoid about not holding a conversation. I feel like I want to jump out of my skin. I sit around in a corner. People ignore me. My girlfriend in college took me out to this rock at the parks, the Metro Parks at Baldwin Wallace, where we went to college. It was me, her, and this guy who's now dead. May he rest in peace. He had a motorcycle accident, and I can't say I'm not surprised. What was that guy's name? 3 of us. I got so high. It was the first time I got high. So high, so messed up. They drove me back to my dorm, let me off, and they went off and had fun without me. That was not a fun experience. I just don't enjoy it. I might try it again. I cannot do alcohol. I'm thinking about just being straight edge from now on. I don't really know. I did acid one time. Loved it. And had a wonderful guy who was the leader of it, organized it. Had wonderful. So good. And at the end, the LSD told me, Sage, you have learned everything about LSD. You never need to do it again. That was it. There is one time I might have done black tar heroin. I can't be sure. It was a dark and stormy night, and there was something floating around the room on a piece of tinfoil, and I smoked it. And what I liked about it, I don't know what it was. I don't know. Some people say it was black tar heroin. I literally don't know. I don't know what it was, but I will say it... So with marijuana, you smoke a bunch of marijuana, you're fine, and then bam, you get hit out of nowhere. This thing that I smoked a little bit of it, totally calm, instantly. I'm like, oh, now that's what's up. And I only did a little bit of it. I think I only smoked it once or twice, but it was so wonderful because I smoked it, instantly took me to the place I felt that it was going to take me. I just loved that. And I never did that again. And that concludes... that was all in college. That concludes my entire drug use. I did get a DUI in college or right after college. I can't quite remember exactly the year. But that's it, okay? I have now come clean with every drug story I have in my life. I do think I want to try ayahuasca in Peru, just because that sounds fun. But I'm sorry, I am taking antidepressants. I take something called citalopram. I take 40 milligrams a day, but that's legal. But it's a drug, so I do take it, and I love it. I love the citalopram. Love it so much. Been doing that for years. I do like the hallucinogenic thing. I would like to try. They're doing these clinical things where like you're being observed by a psychiatrist or psychologist doing DMT. Really would love to do that. But I'm gonna wait until my kid goes to school or whatever, or leaves. My kid doesn't need to see me all screwed up, and I'm really happy being here and now with my kid in the house. The problem with drugs is they take you to another land, and I don't like that idea of being not present with my kid around. I just don't. I don't want him to experience that weird experience. Okay. Aaron says, if that was BLM, the machine guns would have come out and thousands killed. It would have been different. Don't you agree? And then Aaron says, or Omi says to Aaron, without a second thought, I believe this is true. Well, first of all, I don't believe the Black Lives Matter would have gotten into the Capitol. They would have had all this cordoned off. There would have been all this stuff. They would have never gotten even near the building. So I'm optimistic that they would have never gotten into the building. But doesn't it say something that you saw them? They just walked right in the building. And obviously they had to because they were overrun. And I gotta say, it's looking like these Proud Boys aren't totally 100% with the cops. They're only with the cops they like. So, you can deal with that. Makes me mad, but it also makes me want to cry, says Omi. We need Miss Positivity. I'm going to turn that frown upside down. This is a wonderful learning opportunity, Omi. If we cannot acknowledge that black people are treated differently than white people in this country after seeing what happened this week, we'll never see it. That is racism. But I will say, people will say, well, this is racism. And then, sure enough, the right's like, why is this racism? Why is this racism? Because, weirdo, white people are treated differently in America. And you're like, well, I don't know that. I mean, they probably would have walked right in too. No. They want to pretend racism does not exist, just like they want to pretend homeless does not exist. Omi says, my stepdaughter is black and I want her to have the same experience as my white daughter. Yes. Now, there was a thrilling time in one of the protests early on here in Akron for Black Lives Matter where we all started walking through the neighborhoods. And it was like a beautiful parade. And I saw these young African-American kids standing outside their house, seeing white people and black people and people in cars and rich people and poor people in unity with black people. Love is not a pie. I can love black people and I can love white people. I can understand the oppression of Appalachian Americans, and I can understand the oppression of black people, and I can demand that both are cared for. But you see, there's the problem. In America, we don't care about people. Okay? And then everybody thinks nobody cares about me. That's what they kept saying. These white people storming Capitol Hill. Nobody cares about me. Nobody cares about me. And the black people are like, yeah, nobody cares about me either. Welcome to the club, buddy. They seem to have just accepted it. White people are outraged because they're white. Nobody cares about me. No. They never cared about you, buddy. We are just a hurdle in their way of maintaining power. And it is not a power struggle between rich and poor. I see that a lot. It is not. It is a struggle between the powerful and the powerless. And there are many wealthy people who are powerless because they refuse. They are sickened by the same things we are sickened by. They're at war. The government's at war with Facebook and Google and Twitter right now. You know why? Because they have too much power. They're controlling the message. They want to control the message. The powerful want to control the message. And how dare you, Facebook and Twitter and TikTok, dare you think you control the message? You digital elitists. We need Rupert Murdoch on the case. Yeah, this is it. We have to say this, Omi. We only want black men to hold mics and balls, and said this for years. That's the only reason they are allowed to have any kind of path forward, is because they entertain us. They are entertainers, and that is all they are allowed to do, is entertain us. I'm telling you, it's true. And then Omi goes on to say there's only two races, white and non-white. That is true. That is true. My personal belief is, however, black people are particularly targeted in America, but certainly Hispanic people are hated. Asians are made fun of. It's a mess. It's absolutely a mess. White people believe, and they will say that this was what it was. Who could originally vote in America? The Constitution grants the states, and this is 1789, the power to set voting requirements. Generally, states limit this right to property owning or tax-paying white males. About 6% of the population. See? This is what they want to get back to. Because these are people that want to adhere to the beginning of America. Okay? What are these guys they like that like to be like hold the Constitution truthfulists or absolute? I forget. There's people like the conservatives want to hold it like I just want to be originalists or whatever they say. Okay? 6%. 6% of the population should vote. Which incidentally is amusing to me because it is, here it says over here, only white men aged 21 and older who own land can vote. And then the 14th Amendment grants full citizenship rights, including voting rights, to all men born or naturally raised in the United States. No. We need to turn that crap over. That ain't right. That ain't right. Land-owning 21-year-old men. Like to see you try and get some land these days if you don't already have some. It's expensive as hell. And don't you think they would just keep pushing the price of land up and up and up and up and up and up like they're doing right now? That's what they want, people. White men. White men. And you know that's true. John Matthew says Ethiopia. I don't know quite what that means. I probably just got lost. Syria. Okay, I'm seeing it now. Syria. I see. I'm seeing a pattern. Okay. I do want to stop over here. Omi says she loves weed and Adderall and White Claws. I don't know what a White Claw is, but I would imagine I would love Adderall. My wife literally suggested Adderall to me earlier this year. I could try it, but I'm really happy with myself. Erin says she has an allergic reaction to marijuana. I wonder. Okay, Omi says bad acid trip, great shrooms trip. I would like to do shrooms. Omi tried coke once, learned doesn't like shit up her nose. See? These are the things you have to learn. You have to learn. Omi says, coke was my first drug when I was 19, and then didn't try anything until I was 24 when I smoked pot. Wow, you went cool, and that was what people did, man. It was the cool drug. Coke was the elitist cool drug. I think it still is. Aaron says pot nearly caused me to jump out of a second floor window in high school. I was put in a straitjacket and hauled away to the mental ward. I actually know somebody who is facing serious mental issues because they overdosed. People took too much pot, literally. Omi would like to mention, rightfully so, that books take you to another land. They really do. Brenda says, it's not that easy for some to quit drugs. I think it depends on the chemicals in your brain as well as other things. Just saying my experience of watching my addicted son. There you go. Brenda, I think you're 100% correct. Some people can quit drugs easy. Some people, look, I tried so many times to quit smoking. Well, not the main at the end there, but a big reason for me early on thinking about quitting drinking was because I couldn't stop smoking while I was drinking. Eventually, at one point, I had the patch on. I was quitting. Rocky and I went to the bar, and I started smoking at the bar with the patch on, and everybody was like, dude, that's bad crap, dude. You got to stop that. I'm like, what? What could go wrong? It's always my motto. Brenda points out that guns and bombs are intent. I would think when you got the Molotov cocktails hidden away in your car. I don't usually go to say, I leave my Molotov cocktails at home when I go to Target. I'm just saying I do. Especially because, Target's named Target. I don't have any Molotov cocktails. I'm not that guy, just for the record. I'm not. Now, Aaron says an interesting thing. Let the Native Americans have this country back. That would be cool. I would like to see that. Oh, Omi says food is the one I can't unless I take my Adderall. Interesting. And then that's just substituting one addiction for the next. Oh, Robin says that sounds like hash. Are you talking about the thing I smoked? Maybe that was hash. It was great. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but if you're talking about this thing I thought was black tar heroin, I don't know what hash is. Maybe it was hash, but I liked it too much to the point where I got a little scared of like, I don't need that anymore. That was too good. That was perfect. People, we must go forth in our lives. We must see what week 2 of 2021 shall bring us. I'm not going to make any promises. I don't know, but I do know this. One of the most beautiful things about human beings is their resiliency and belief and hope to move forward. Sometimes things get a little squirrely. You can look through the history of just America itself, the Civil War, the civil rights, slavery, democracy isn't a given thing. White men are basically saying, look, if democracy means I have to share power with black people and Hispanic people and all these other people and women, have you looked up, incidentally, what Proud Boys think about women? Not a lot. They're not very proud of women. They believe women should stay in their place at home. Yeah, I'll see you, Aaron. Thank you for everything. I got to go too. But we're going to be okay. Everything is going to be all right, everybody. You can take that to the bank. 100%. We're going to be all right. Watch The Gang Turns Black. Okay. Watch The Gang Turns Black. It's Always Sunny. Okay, that's good. It does seem that maybe they do. I mean, I've seen apparently Antifa, spray paint stuff and attack federal buildings. All right, everybody. I don't know. I think crazy people can be crazy from all different kinds of walks of life. All right, everybody. I'm going to go. I got to hang out with my fam, do some fam stuff. The family. You are my internet family, and I love you so much. I'm so thankful to get to spend time with you. You're wonderful, Antifa. All right, everybody. I will see you later.